Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out In-Demand Jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Here we go. Welcome into this IdahoSports.com game stream production of North Idaho Game Night. Coverage on IdahoSports.com was presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Brian Hall. I'm joined this evening by Brandon Baney and one very special guest, his dad, Dwayne Baney. He'll be on the camera tonight. And tonight we come to you live from Spirit Lake, Idaho. It'll be a neutral site for the visiting team. The Deary Mustangs will take on Coeur Saints. The Deary Mustangs come into the game at 3-3 on the season. They're 1-0 in the conference. They are led by Mr. Tim Olson as their head coach. And Coeur Academy Saints are 4-1 on the season. And their coach, you just told me the other second ago there, Brandon. Kevin Clemens, thanks very much. And so, folks, they start just a little bit early tonight. We'll do the best we can on starting lineups and everything. Deary Mustangs, Tim Olson, 3-3. Games with Troy this year. They beat Troy, lost to Prairie. Tri-Valley, a very good team in the state right now. Timberline, they beat, and they lost to Potlatch 20-60. Key players when Deary's on the field. On offense, Jarrett Keene is their sophomore quarterback. The rushing leader is Cooper Dammerman, a sophomore, averaging 72 yards a game. We'll get to Coeur Saints in just a moment.
Yeah, boy, we're kicking off 5 minutes early here, Brian. Are you ready for some football?
We're ready to go. So it looks as though Deary will kick off to the Saints. A squib on the ground. Was it touched before it went out of bounds? The officials say no. And Coeur will get the ball in very favorable position to start this game off. 1st and 10 on their own 38. So at the helm, Coeur Grant Clemens, a sophomore, 14 passing touchdowns this year. Rushing junior John Denke, averages 120 yards a game. Receiving wise, you got the senior Greg Hayes, 111 yards, 6 touchdown catches. Clemens by himself. A quick pitch, and that's the Denke. Denke trying to get around the corner, has some room, gets the first down and more. He's up to about the 32-yard line of Deary. Found the edge, for a 30-yard gain.
Yeah, and Denke's the guy that's electrifying. He's had a couple of kickoff returns for touchdowns this year, and if he gets the edge, a lot of times he's tough to catch.
He's averaging 120 yards rushing a game this year. Again, both these teams, very good teams. Deary's had a hard schedule, 3-3. Coeur Christ, 4-1 on the season. Pass goes to Denke. Little screen pass, not for much. He'll get about 2 on that play.
And really 2 sophomore signal callers tonight. Grant Clemens for Coeur Christ, Jarrett Keene for Deary. The key is going to be with those young signal callers who can limit the turnovers and mistakes. That might be the team that comes out on top in a pretty evenly matched contest.
You know, and the Saints come in at 4-1 this season with wins over Lewis Clark Co-op, Clark Fork, Silport, Washington. They lost to Logos, and they defeated Lakeside last week 54-32. And the passes to Hayes. Hayes, a senior tonight, gains 7. He gets the first down for the Saints. So tonight's senior night for the Saints. They honored 4 seniors this evening. The Saints only second year, Brandon, of playing football in Idaho.
Yeah, it's their 4th year of existence as a high school, 2nd year of being an IHSAA member in volleyball, football, boys and girls basketball.
And 4-1 in the North Star League this year. Well, for overall, 1-0 in the North Star League. Clemens to Denke. Denke finds some running room, gets about 4 or 5 before he's brought down. And on the tackle was Cohen Griffin for the Mustangs. 2nd and 5 for the Saints. Clemens gets the call from, yes, Coach Clemens. They are related. That's his dad. And we have another treat on the field tonight, too. The white cap on the field. You might know his name, Manzardo.
Yeah, Paul Manzardo.
Paul Manzardo. His son plays for the Cleveland, tell me their new name.
Guardians
now. Denke with some room on the end. He gets about 6, picks up the first down. And the Saints just moving the ball on the ground easily on this Deary defense. 9:44 left to go in the first quarter. And the Saints are on the march. 1st and goal from the 7. Well, no, they say it's out. No, the 12, excuse me. Not used to being always up in the booth up here.
Yeah,
we're usually down by the
folks,
the
fans
down there. So, and he's got room, and that's going to be It's going to be Hayes for the touchdown. Greg Hayes got it around the edge, and he will score for the Saints. 6-0 your score. And Coeur Christ made it look very easy on the ground.
And that's what Coeur Christ wants to do. They want to turn this into a track meet tonight. Deary wants to slow it down, play a low-scoring defensive type of game.
So far, Hayes and Denke, Clemens go-tos. And Clemens is wide out. We have the 2 running backs. We have Denke and Hayes in the backfield. Clemens decoy out as a receiver, and there's a flag. Direct snap was to Hayes. A little razzle-dazzle on the formation out here.
This is a Coeur Christ program that went 3-5 last year in their first year of competing and saw what it took to win in 8-man football when they first started. Coach Kellen Clemens, of course, played at the University of Oregon for the Ducks, played in the NFL for about 10 years as a backup on the New York Jets and LA Rams. So he's coming and wanting to sling it around. He found out pretty quickly, in 8-man football, you got to be able to establish the run. And they have kind of morphed into a running team first.
So Clemens back in the pistol. Denke back in the field. A little swing pass to Denke. Trying to get that extra attempt, and they're going to say he's short, taken down. That's a great stop by Deary. It'll be 6-0 with 9:16 left to go in the first quarter. So, Brandon, we got a quick start tonight. We had like 5 minutes left on the clock, and it's like, boom, here we go. And tonight, folks, Brandon's going to do his best to chip in there, but he's the home center for IdahoSports.com tonight, and he's doing the rough work.
The Friday night flash.
Friday night flash.
You know, I will say, Brian, this is a matchup that last year did happen, but the matchups between District 1 and District 2 were few and far between because the District 1 North Star League last year did a double round-robin schedule where Wallace, Clark Fork, Coeur de Christ, and Lakeside basically played each other twice. And so that was 6 of the 8 games on the schedule. Well, that didn't help too much in the almighty Max Preps rankings, and so they did away with that. There's been a lot more crossover games. We did one last week between Wallace and Genesee, right? There's been more of those crossover games this year, and it's helped everybody in the Max Preps rankings. These two teams tonight, Coeur de Christ number 8 in this week's rankings, Deary number 9, so the winner of this could move up.
And Coeur de Christ strikes first. And back to receive is Hubbard. Hubbard for Deary. He's got one man to beat. Just gets it past midfield and down to the 45-yard line. And fortunately for Coeur de Christ, Junkin was there on the tackle. So the Mustangs start in Saints territory, 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line. Jarrett Keene in the backfield. As well as Damerman. Keene keeps it for himself. Trying to get some room. Gets about 2 yards before he's brought down by a couple of Saints.
Yeah, it looked like the first guy in there for Coeur de Christ was Aiden O'Neill, one of the 4 seniors honored tonight. And you might be wondering, well, hey, Coeur de Christ and Deary, why the heck are we playing in Timberlake? Well, Coeur de Christ doesn't have a home field yet, so they kind of play wherever they can. They play a lot of games at the Mauriman Health Core Center down in Worley, and they kind of play wherever they can. So,
and it just happens to be, fortunate to be up here at Spirit Lake tonight, 2nd and 9. Keene, a little screen pass, and it is caught by Hubbard for a loss of 2 yards.
Yeah, that's when you just want to let fall incomplete, I think, and live to fight another down.
Well, he had Damerman on the right side was open, and the screen was set up for the left side, and Damerman was asking for the ball. There was nobody on the wide side of the field. They ran that screen to the short side of the field. So it brings up 3rd and about 11 for the Mustangs. Keene and Damerman in the backfield. In motion is Meckling. Inside handoff to Meckling. He's got some room on the wide side of the field. Little sidestep, but doesn't not good enough. He'll get about five good yards there, and it's going to bring up 4th down. And he was taken down there by the senior, Greg Hayes. Trying to do a little 1-2 step around Hayes, and Hayes had nothing to do with it. It's 4th and 8 for the Mustangs. Funk in motion. Flags fly. Procedure on the Mustangs. That's going to move them back even farther. Where it'll be a 4th and 14, 15 yards. So Hunter Funk was going in motion, but he went forward towards the line, and they got him for a procedure call.
Yeah. And ultimately, still 4th and long. Obviously going to go for it.
Looks like they may be in the punt formation here. And they do elect to kick. And that's Keene kicking the ball, and it's down to going to roll down to the 15-yard line where the Saints will have it 1st and 10 from the 15.
See, that's why you're in the driver's seat tonight. Because it looks like they're
going to go for it.
Yeah. They're actually punting, you dummy.
So the Saints hold on defense. And really, they lead 6-0 with 6:49 left to go in the first quarter. And that first drive that they had looked really easy for the Saints to score.
Yeah, and the one key coming in tonight I thought was going to be Deary's defensive line, especially led by Blake Clark, who was all-league last year as a sophomore. If they can get home on the pass rush, they might be in a good spot.
Dinky with the ball, running hard for 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Saints.
But right there, that's too much. Right there on first down, right? You got to try to limit that to 2 to 3 yards. Dinky ripping off 7 or 8 there.
Oh, give the Saints offensive line credit there, opening up a big hole for Dinky.
And that's the one part I was really excited to see tonight is that Coeur Christ offensive line. You know, all the skill guys get the headlines, but that offensive line's been pretty solid too this year.
Dinky Clemens back to pass. His man Hayes is there, the senior, and he'll have the first down, a gain of 10. 1st and 10 for the Saints.
And Kellen Clemens, you know, we did his very first game ever last year as a freshman when Coeur Christ played Lakeside, and he looked like a freshman. You can tell he's grown a little bit from freshman to sophomore year. He's put on a little muscle, too. He kind of looks like his old man back there slinging the ball around. Kellen Clemens.
So Kellen is the coach, yeah. And Grant's back there hucking the ball. Grant has 14 passing touchdowns so far this season. Hand off to Dinky up the middle. He'll get about 5. Forward progress, give him 5. And the Deary defense that's all they're going to give him.
Nice job to hang on there. Deary came in trying to rip that ball out, and Dinky, good ball security.
Jarrett Keene on the stop for the Mustangs. 2nd and we'll call it 5.5. 5:14 left to go in the first quarter. 6-0. The Coeur Christ Saints over the Mustangs. Clemens back to pass. Pump fake. Looking for Hayes deep, and Hayes is open. He may score. He goes all the way. Touchdown, Saints. 62-yard touchdown by the Saints. Clemens to Hayes, and it's senior night, and Greg Hayes has made it a good one so far.
So that's now a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown for Greg Hayes tonight. And you know they want to get their senior, a little love. Get him the ball early.
12-0 with 4:50 left to go in the first quarter. And the Saints just picking away at that Deary defense. Hayes in at quarterback. Takes a direct snap. Fakes a pitch, goes right up the middle. And they're going to say he's in this time. So Hayes has scored 14 of Coeur Christ's points in the first quarter. Been a part of them.
That would be all of them.
So that would be all of them.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Coeur Christ really turned the corner this offseason for the first time. Because in 11-man football, they do 7-on-7 competitions a lot in the summertime. Well, Tri-Valley decided to host a 5-on-5, kind of the 8-man equivalent of the 7-on-7.
Yep.
And so Council was there, Tri-Valley was there. Coeur Christ made the trip down from Coeur d'Alene all the way down to Cambridge to go play in this thing. And they really opened some eyes and turned some heads at that 5-on-5 this summer. And everyone kind of went, okay, these guys are ready to take the next step and contend for a playoff spot.
That reminds me, we used to do the Valley Camp in 11-man football down in Boise, too. We'd go to either McCall or something like that. We had a lot of the 5A teams were up there, too. We had Meridian and some larger teams go to these nice sites that kids would camp out and do some community service while they were up there, too, with the Valley Camp. And to see these kids actually traveling down and doing stuff in the summer, it's great for the kids, great for the programs, and here we go. Saunderson with the return for the Mustangs. Brings it up to the 35 where Deary will have it 1st and 10.
Now, if you're Deary, you don't have to panic necessarily, but, boy, already kind of behind the 8 ball here early. You need to at least put together a long, sustained drive. Start by trying to pick up your first down and then work from there.
Hey, you don't want to give the ball right back to them.
No, not the way they're running tonight.
4:43 left to go in the first quarter. Mustangs with the ball. Keene with 2 backs in the backfield. The live formation. And ball's on the ground. Fumble on the ground, and who recovered? It is the Saints. The Saints recovered the fumble.
Yeah.
Dammerman didn't quite get the handoff. Ball was on the ground, and the Saints have recovered at the 28-yard line of the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was the sophomore, Sean O'Neill, 5'11", 205, playing that nose guard spot. He'll stay right out there at offensive guard as well. But, boy, Sean O'Neill, the sophomore with the fumble recovery. Nice job.
Not what Deary wanted. As we just said before, they needed to get their offense rolling, and right now it's been all Saints with 4:36 left to go in the first quarter. Clemens by himself in the backfield. Little shuffle pass to Dinky. Dinky's got the edge. Little razzle-dazzle. He goes a long way. He's going to get down to about the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. 25-yard gain for Dinky.
That's what makes this Coeur Christ team so. I mean, we saw 2 years ago, Clark Fork was down, 28 in the fourth quarter,
Yep.
Came back and won?
That's right.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Meckling and Hubbard back to receive the Dinky kick. Dinky's got a pretty good foot in him. Down to about the 22-yard line, and that's Hubbard. Hubbard looking for some blocks upfield. Gets to the 30, the 35, changes direction. Gets down to the 40-yard, gets up to the 40-yard line before he's taken down there. And on the tackle there was Matthew Junkin. Junkin, what's your function? All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs on the 40.
I like that. That was good. That was good.
Freshman. Got to mention those freshmen when they make a tackle.
Oh, yeah.
6'2", 170. Freshman. That kid's going to grow. He'll be 6'6" by the time he's a senior. Kane takes a snap. Going to take it himself. Had a blocker out front. Nothing to it. And right there on the big play is Denke for the sack. And it'll be a loss of 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 14 for the Mustangs. Just nothing going right for the Mustangs right now.
Yeah, just moving backwards right now, so got to find a spark somewhere.
Keene started to follow his lead blocker, but then changed direction. So it'll play for the Mustangs. Positive yards.
Yes.
Clock running. 2:50 left to go in the first quarter. The Saints lead 22-0 over the Mustangs. Keene up under center. Fakes the handoff, looking for Meckling, and he's got Meckling open. Meckling's got room. They had to run him down. They finally caught him at the, they'll say, the 20-yard line. Nice play for the Mustangs there as Keene faked the handoff and got it to the senior, Jacob Meckling, for a big gain for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and Deary says, hey, we got some big play potential too. Meckling and Hubbard and Keene,
45-yard play.
Yeah.
Keene brings Dammerman in motion, flags down. We're going to have one, I do believe, a procedure call on the Mustangs. I've been known to be wrong, but
not often.
I've coached a lot of places. It's just one thing I've coached or I've refereed football or basketball and umpire softball, but I just cannot cross the line to referee football. It's just one of those things as a coach. I just can't do it. It is on Deary. Procedure call. They'll lose 5 there. Repeat first down. 1st and 15 with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Coeur Christ Saints leading 22-0 over the Deary Mustangs. Keene handoff, keeps it himself. Fake the handoff to Dammerman, keeps himself, gets to the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 3rd and 10. This will be 2nd and 10. They had to repeat the first. Yeah, 2nd and 10 on the 20-yard line. If Deary could punch something in right here, that would help them out a ton and help their momentum going into that second quarter with 1:18 left to go in the first.
Yeah, really need a win here. Just on the play, I mean.
Keene trip set. Looking for the screen again. But looks downfield and triple coverage. Looking for Cohen Griffin. And the Saints defense had 3 of their best back there. Clemens and Denke were back there on the defense. Brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. 1:04 left to go in the first quarter. Dammerman back with Keene. 3rd and 10. Little option play. Keene decides to keep it, and that was a big mistake. While the pitch was there, Keene decided to keep it, and he's taken down by two of the Saints, and that was O'Neal, was one of them, as well as Charles Genet.
Yeah, and that's another guy that's been really important for their fortunes this year, Charles Genet.
Brings up 4th and 14, and we have a timeout. And can we take a timeout, Brandon?
Yeah, we sure can, Brian.
We'll take him out. Timeout, too. We're here on North Idaho, 9th Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com.
Help dream more.
Back here in Spirit Lake for the North Idaho game night. IdahoSports.com. We're getting all tongue-tied there. Well, we got a 4th down and 12 for the Deary Mustangs. They trail the Coeur Christ Saints 22-0 with 36 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Deary trying to get something going here. Pass downfield. Looked like there might have been some pushing and shoving, and there was. And we're going to get a pass interference call.
At this point, Deary will take what they can get, right?
Try to get Meckling down the field. He had the man beat. Defender was a little bit behind, and it's got a little too handsy. So that'll give the Mustangs a 4th and inches. On the 10-yard line.
Yeah, 4th and 1.
4th and about 1.
You could be sneaky here. What do you think?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, if he was under, I think if Keene was under center, just a little tush push there would get him a first down.
He's got some big guys to run behind, that's for sure.
Yeah, if he get behind Dakota Cochran and run right behind him, he could probably get that first down real easy. Keene back in the pistol. We have some movement. They're trying to draw the defense off sides, and they did. Meckling came in motion. Hard count by Keene. Give King the credit for that. And it'll give the Mustangs a much-needed first down. 1st and goal from the 5.
Well, you got to like the hard count there.
Nice job by Jarrett Keene. 4th and short and drew the defense off. 31 seconds left to go. And Deary trying to punch it in the red zone. Funk and Damerman in the backfield. Pitch to Damerman. Damerman looking for the edge, trying to get in the end zone. And the ball's loose again. Recovered by the Mustangs. And fortunate for the Mustangs, Damerman was there to pick that up.
Yeah, boy.
That could have been just heartbreaking for the Mustangs there. They're going to lose 5 on it. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Now, something we did not mention, Brian, it kind of downpoured here about 90 minutes before kickoff tonight. I don't know that it's all dried out yet here at Van Twinstra Stadium, but it's going to take us to the end of the first quarter, too.
And we're at the end of the first quarter. The Coeur de Christ Saints 22, the Deary Mustangs 0. You're watching IdahoSports.com and the North Idaho Game Night.
We're Valley-wide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
They're a school that's still growing, for sure.
Option. Keene keeps it for himself, and he'll get about 2 yards before he's taken down by a host of Saints. Leading the charge was Charles Genet. So it brings up 3rd and goal for the Mustangs. They really need to punch it in here.
They've got to get moving north and south a little bit here. A little too much east and west action, especially down near the goal line.
Saints have been really good tonight on defense. Their defensive ends making that edge not available for the Mustangs. Denver in motion. Keene keeps it himself, gets a little hole up the middle, they close quickly. And that was, on the big hit there, was Eli Zember. Brings 4th and goal for the Mustangs. So Zember, one of the leading defenders we talked about earlier, we didn't really talk about before the game, but one of the leading defensive players for the Saints.
We didn't have time to talk about anything.
We started early today.
They kicked off 5 minutes early.
So it brings up 4th and goal for the Mustangs. looking to punch one in here. They don't want to give the Saints the ball back right away, trailing 22-0. Keene and Damerman in the backfield. Keene back to pass to Damerman in the flat, and he'll be out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Not good enough, and the defense holds, and the Saints will take over 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line.
Yeah, see, Brian, and that's what I'm talking about. It's 4th and goal, and you got 6 yards to go, and it's in the flat. Right now, these athletes from Deary are good, but, you know, you're making it more difficult by trying to juke everybody out.
Call it the 5 for the Saints. Clemens to pass. Hayes, ball was right in his hands, and I think he felt the pressure coming just off his fingertips. Like I said, it rained tonight, but he's got those sticky gloves on.
Yeah.
Got to buy those $20 gloves so he can catch a ball. Brings up 2nd 10 for the Saints. Always thought that was funny when the receivers were spending that extra money to buy those gloves.
Yeah, the sticky gloves.
Sticky gloves. Clemens takes a snap, hands the ball off to Denke. Denke's got some room up the sideline, and finally pushed out at the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Gain of 17 for Denke.
And now this is what Coeur Christ wants to do. Yeah, chew up the yardage, chew up the clock a little bit. Already sitting on a 3-score lead.
Just a little bit over 10 minutes left to go in the first half. And the Saints controlling all aspects of this game. Clemens alone in the backfield, looking to pass. He's got a man deep. It's Hayes. Hayes is open, and nobody's going to catch him. That's going to be a touchdown for the Saints. No flags on the field. From the 23-yard line, touchdown Saints.
Doing the math, that's 77 yards.
77-yard touchdown. Thank you, mathematician Brandon Bainey, folks. I don't do math. 73 yards on the touchdown pass. And Hayes, that's another 6 for him. 20 of the 22 points Greg Hayes has been a part of this team.
Hayes is leaving that Deary defense in a haze with 3 touchdowns.
It's pretty hazy down there, yes. Saints for the 2-point try. And Clemens, the decoy. Hayes will take the direct snap. Hayes will keep it. And breaks a tackle, and he is in for the 2. Hayes, another 2 points for the night. Senior night looking good for Greg Hayes. And the Saints. The Saints lead 30-0 with 9:56 left to go in the first half.
Really impressive showing here by Coeur Christ Academy. First time I've been able to see them with my own eyes this year. Obviously, you look at the box scores every week and you see them piling up the points against the opposition here. And now, what looms large is next week, Brian. Assuming Wallace is taking care of business tonight against Clark Fork.
There we go.
Coeur Christ and Wallace for what could be the North Star League title.
And we saw Wallace, and they had a hard game against the Genesee Bulldogs last week. Very hard-fought game. They had the ball within the red zone 4 times and couldn't score. So 9:56 left to go in the first half, and the Saints to kick off. Ball's of Sanderson. Sanderson gets a little hole, and he'll get up to the 40-yard line, where the Mustangs will take over 1st and 10. Becoming a power booster on IdahoSports.com is a great way for you and your business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Just email sales@IdahoSports.com, and within 24 hours, your business can be proudly seen on your favorite school's team schedules, rosters, and conference standings. Deary's still looking for something on offense. Little screen play. They've got it set up good. Meckling breaks a tackle. He'll get up to the 40 and down to finally about the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. 24-yard pass play there from Keene to Meckling. Boy, the Saints came in hard on defense, and they had that screen set up well. There was nobody for about 15 yards to touch Meckling. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Keene and Dammerman in the backfield. Keene takes a snap, takes it himself. He's got Dammerman a lead block, and he'll get 5 before he's taken down. And on the tackle, Denke and Hayes. Second, we'll call it 6 for the Mustangs. Keene under center. He's got Funk and Dammerman in the backfield in I formation.
He's got the funk.
He's got the funk. Dammerman he's got a great block upfield, razzle dazzle, and he'll gain a good 15 on that run for the Mustangs. Mustangs now in the red zone, where it'll be 1st and 15. Or 1st and 10, sorry, from the 15, excuse me. You know, the Mustangs rolling on offense just got to punch it into the end zone. They got to finish, is the big word, finish tonight for the Mustangs.
Yeah, a lot of empty calories right now, right? A lot of movement between the 20s, but man, when they get down near the goal line, it's just been bogging down.
The Saints have been tough with a D tonight. Keene under center, down in the backfield. Fumbles a snap, ball's on the ground. I don't think Keene got it back. He didn't. And the Saints recover. And on top of that ball was number 22, Charles Genet. Genet with the recovery, and the Saints will take over again with their offense, 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Deary just got to take care of the ball tonight, and they, like I say, they move well on offense in between the 20s, but get in that red zone, and they have not been able to finish tonight. 7:58 left to go in the first half. The Saints back on offense. They lead 30-0 over the Mustangs. Clemens half out to Denke. Denke's got to beat 1, 2, 3. He's got one man to beat. It's a track meet, folks. He's got one man to beat. And I think he's not going to catch him. Hubbard's not going to catch him, and Denke scores from the 16-yard line. We'll get the math for you in just a minute.
84 yards.
84-yard touchdown by
John Denke.
Denke,
Now, Brian,
junior.
I've only been kind of half engaged here. Didn't Deary have the ball?
Deary had the ball. They fumbled.
Oh.
They fumbled the ball, and, they was covered by Genet. Genet recovered the fumble, and the Saints got the ball. And one play, would you say 82 yards?
84.
84 yards.
Yeah, don't shortchange him.
Don't be short, not 2 yards. It hurt me last night with my running back. Scattaboo.
Oh, fantasy football, huh?
Little shuffle of Hayes and trying to do a little quick push pass there, and it didn't work. So the 2-point try is no good. But the Saints, a one-play, 84-yard touchdown by John Denke. And the Saints lead 36-0 with 7:45 left to go in the first half. Yes, the first half, folks. We have a Saints track meet right now.
That's funny because they don't even have a track team. As far as I know, I guess I don't want to speak.
Give him time. Give him time.
I don't want to speak out of school here, but
I tell you what, with the speed we just saw right there, they might want to get a relay team put together real quick.
Their volleyball team last year in their first year of competition won the North Star League and lost to St. John Bosco in an all private Christian school state play-in match. But I think this year they get a whole bid. So Coeur Christ probably going to be in state for the first time in
Nice.
volleyball this year. The boys basketball team was really fun to watch last year too. So,
And, 4 years, only a school for 4 years. And in 2 years of athletic ability, they're just rising to the occasion on every aspect and every athletic field they have. 36-0 your score. We have Hubbard back to receive. And they kick it to the opposite side, which is Meckling. Meckling's got a hole up the middle. They got a hold of him about the 44, and he's taken down there. Anders Sundholm, the freshman for the Saints, had a hold of his jersey and took him down, slowed him down a little bit. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 45-yard line. And Saunderson, the Sundholm, the leading tackler for the Saints coming into tonight, the freshman.
yeah, it's pretty impressive from a freshman.
Keene under center. Gives to the first back up, and that is Hunter Funk, and he'll gain 3. Funk for 3. 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs. As we've seen before, they do well between the 20s, but can't get it punched in the red zone.
But this is what I said in the pregame. Turnovers. We're going to decide this game, and Deary's giving it away too much.
Keene sends Dammerman in motion. The handoff goes to Funk, and Funk will get another 3. Ground and pound. 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs. 6:50 left to go in the first half. The Coeur Christ Saints 36, the Deary Mustangs 0. Deary just looking for something positive here. Last 2 running plays have been 3-3. But they got to get something in the end zone before halftime.
I still got a lot of time here, 6.5 minutes, but
And we have an official timeout. We have a player down on the ground. And that's Clemens.
oh boy, you don't want to see that.
So Clemens, the injured player. You're watching IdahoSports.com. North Idaho game night. Gosh, I always forget the game night.
That's all right.
We'll be right back.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go.
When it's time to get health insurance, Your Health Idaho is the place to go. It's Idaho's health insurance marketplace where you can shop and compare plans from well-known insurance companies and lower your monthly premium with a tax credit you can't get anywhere else. Plus, certified local agents can find you the right plan for free. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
Do you have what it takes to be a power booster for your school on IdahoSports.com? Power boosters are a great way for you and your business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current potential clients and customers. The best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Email sales@IdahoSports.com to find out more about how you can become a power booster at IdahoSports.com.
Well, you read that with such gusto, Brian.
Gusto! Here we go. Deary in the red zone again, 4th and 5. Looking to pass is King. He's got a man open. Threw it a little late. We'll see what the outcome is. Incomplete. Boy, if he throws that ball just a little bit sooner, I think he had it. And right there, it was Meckling trying to bring that down. And it looked like King just a half a second too late, or he had a man open. So again, the Saints defense holds, and they will take over deep in their own territory, 1st and 10, as they lead 36-0, 2:34 left to go in the first half.
Great job by Beckett Byer to close at the end of that play as well, defensively there for Coeur. I'm really impressed by this Saints defense. I came in tonight knowing the offense was going to be good, but man, the defense has been spot on tonight also.
And good for the Saints. Clemens is back out there. And here's the handout to Denke again. Denke gets a big gain there. He'll get 8 good yards there before he's brought down. He'll bring up a 2nd and 2 for the Saints. 2:15 left to go in the first half. Quickly, the Saints are on the ball. Denke tried to do a little sidestep there. Looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to still pick up. They'll call it 1 before he's brought down.
Yeah, and if I'm Coeur here and Coach Clemens, I'm totally okay letting the clock roll a little bit here. They are going a little tempo, but you don't have to panic.
3rd and 1. Clemens back to pass. Caught. I believe that's Meckling.
On the tackle there?
Meckling, no, I'm sorry.
Greg Hayes on the reception.
Yeah, Greg Hayes on the reception.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got we might have a cramp over there.
Well, it was the pass was a little high, and so Hayes had to stretch for it, and then I think he took a pretty good shot in the side there as he was stretched out to try and get that. Sure hope he's all right, but.
Saints gain 6 on the pass. It'll bring up a 1st and 10. So Hayes down on the sideline. The Saints lead 36-0 with 1:47 left in the half. It's IdahoSports.com, North Idaho game night.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Back here at Spirit Lake, and a good sign for the Saints. Their senior Greg Hayes, who's been a big part of the offense tonight and defense. Maybe just a cramp in the calf there. Remember, there's no muscles in the ankles. I was, reminded of.
Had to give you that anatomy lesson last week.
I used to teach anatomy too. It's crazy, yeah. 1st and 10 for the Saints. Clemens hand off to Denke. Denke looking for some room. He's got some blockers up the field. He's got one man to beat. Razzles down. He got 2 men backwards, sideways, forwards, backwards, and he gets down to the 42-yard line where he's brought down. Dammerman chased him down. A big gain. He was left. He was right. He was forward. He was backward.
The way you describe
He
that.
went everywhere, every direction.
Yeah, the way you describe. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Pass complete again. Oh, he stayed on his feet.
Completely stayed on his feet, and that's Byer. Byer with a great reception and to stay on his feet after the defender went over top of him for an 18-yard gain. And the Saints are rolling right now, folks.
Yeah, so that last play you mentioned where he's went every direction, all I could picture in my head, because I was looking down at the computer, was just like when you're in the bumper car and you're just spinning in a circle, you're not actually moving anywhere. And then how about the effort there by Byer to stay on, and that's
a drill. That's the old hand on the ground, keep your feet, spin around the cone. Keep moving, keep your feet. Did a great job by Byer there to get a big gain for the Saints.
That's that work in the weight room in the off season, right? You're just stronger than your opponent.
Don't miss leg day.
That's right.
High schoolers out there, do not miss leg day. That's why it's important.
Girls get the girls, but there's other, the biceps, they're kind of important, but
you
got to work the whole body.
Girls are for girls. Legs are for football players.
That's right. Hit the squat rack.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Saints as they just are rolling on offense this evening. Big plays for the Saints. Deary not able to stop them right now. Minute 2 left to go in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line for the Saints. Clemens hands off to Dinky. Dinky's got some blockers. Big gain, spins around, and he'll score. 22-yard touchdown. John Denke, he was hit at the line of scrimmage, spun, and kept his feet and went in for the touchdown. John Denke, his second touchdown on the ground tonight. Strong.
Coeur Christ sending a message to the rest of the state tonight. They deserve to be in that top 8 of the Max Preps rankings.
55 seconds left to go in the first half. And the Saints lead 42-0 and trying to tack on another 2 right now. Clemens gives it Denke again. Denke, did he get in? He say no way. And he stopped. And on the stop for the Mustang was Blake Clark. So a 2-point conversion, no good. But the Saints right now, the big plays, they lead 42-0 with 55 seconds left to go in the first half. This is IdahoSports.com, North Idaho game night.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Back to Spirit Lake, and before the and he's saying, well, if you got any plays that'll help us out tonight, let me know. And boy, I tell you what, I don't think you need any help. He's calling them great tonight, and they've been very successful on the offensive side as they lead 42-0 over the Deary Mustangs. Short kick, and it's fumbled. But recovered by the Mustangs. And that was Funk. Funk will get the ball at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Kellen Clemens wears a lot of hats at Coeur Christ. He's the head football coach. He's the athletic director. He's also the chairman of the board of directors for the school as well. Of course, they're a private Catholic school in Coeur d'Alene, so he's a busy guy most days at Coeur Christ. Any conversation you have with him is in passing.
Being the dean of students, too, I was surprised. I bet the football players are never in trouble.
That's right.
Deary with the ball. Keene back to pass. Lots of time. Throws it up, and it's tipped away. And they're going to call Pass interference on Clemens. Looked like a pretty good defensive play. Pass was intended for Meckling. And they're saying Clemens interfered.
Yeah, Clemens was underneath, and then Janae was coming over the top there defensively. But that's what I'm talking about with Deary. They've got these athletes. They've got this big play potential. They're going to have to start taking some more shots down the field just to keep the defense a little more honest.
And King, just a sophomore, and if he gets that timing with those receivers, they're open early. He's throwing them just a little bit too late and allowing the defenders to catch up. Out wide is Hubbard and Dammerman. Throws away quickly to Meckling. Meckling's got some room, but we have flags on the ground. I think it may come back. And Denke was on top of Keene. Keene was backtracking the whole time. It's a quick screen, and the call is going to be procedure on the Mustangs, which will take them backwards. But it'll be 1st and 15. 40 seconds left to go in the half. The Coeur Saints lead 42-0. Mustangs trying to put something on the board before halftime. And we have an official timeout. Gentlemen going to talk. Sideline to sideline, meet in the middle. Sounds good. Go over to the Whitecap. Play-by-play right here, folks.
You never know what Brian's going to be.
And we have a referee meeting. Meeting of the minds. And the flag is waved off. So the Saints, the officials coming over to talk to Coach Clemens about the last play. A little ha-ha tee-hee, and now we're back to play. All right. Still 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. I'm not quite sure what happened there. We had a procedure call, and it's like they waved off the whole play, like they weren't ready. Redo. Keene back to pass. He's got a man open, and it's picked off. Picked off by Byer. And Byer's got a lot of running room, but he's hit out of bounds right at midfield. And that was, I do believe it was Dammerman that brought him down. Excuse me, that was Hubbard. Nolan Hubbard brought him down, or he would have scored. Last man there. And again, the ball hung up there for quite a long time, and Byer was able to get underneath. If that pass was just a little bit sharper and on the money, he had a man open.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there where, just a little bit too much air underneath that one from Keene. And, he started about half the time last year as a freshman. This year they've kind of given him the keys to the offense. And as he gets more comfortable, playing the position of quarterback, I think, he'll hone that in a little bit.
Strong-looking kid. Looks like got a great arm. Just got to get that. It's all about the technique, how you throw. That ball went straight up in the air. And the Saints decide to run the clock out in the first half. And we'll see if that's the last play. That'll be the last play of the first half, folks. Here at Spirit Lake, the neutral site of the visiting Deary Mustangs as they trail the home team on the scoreboard. Coeur Saints, 42-0. We're at half on IdahoSports.com. The North Idaho game night. Brandon and Brian.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text StartMyQuit to 36072.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Help Dreams
Valley-wide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valley-wide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
We're Valley-wide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Saints and big numbers. So, Brandon, you got time to tell us he's busy tonight. He's everything from right here in Spirit Lake, folks, where you've seen everything for Idaho Sports and Friday Night Lights. And if you see the scores on there, you can thank Brandon Bainey because he's up here catching them all tonight.
One time I missed the Friday Night Flash to eat dinner, and boss didn't like that. So here I am broadcasting and putting in all the scores.
Multitasking tonight.
Yeah. Okay. I got the scoring plays. I couldn't keep the first half stats and put in all the scores on IdahoSports.com.
Scoring plays are great. Let's do that.
Coeur Christ tonight, obviously up 42-0. A 6-yard touchdown run by Greg Hayes. 62-yard touchdown pass from Grant Clemens to Greg Hayes, and then Clemens hit Hayes for the 2-point conversion as well. 5-yard touchdown run by John Denke. Clemens to Eli Zember for the 2-point conversion. We then had a 77-yard touchdown pass from Clemens to Hayes. Hayes ran in the 2-point conversion. And then 2 touchdown runs by John Denke, 84 yards and then 22 yards. So Denke has scored 3 times tonight on the ground. Grant Clemens has thrown 2 touchdown passes, both to Greg Hayes. So Hayes has 2 receiving touchdowns, also has a touchdown run.
It's been all Saints tonight. Deary, trying to get something going. The 20s of the 20s are doing a great job. We're going to have a 3-minute runoff here, so because they had some time to warm up a little bit here. The boys are ready to play. The men out there on the field, they're ready to go. But the officials said, hey, we got to have a 3-minute runoff.
There's a rule where you come out of the locker room, if the time is expired on the clock, you have to put 3 minutes back on so the players can warm up and everything. So.
And Deary just stayed in the end zone for the halftime, so they didn't go to the locker room. So
that's where I grew up in Montana. That was fairly common. A lot of the stadiums we went to didn't have places to go for halftime. Like you'd have to go meet in the bus barn, or you'd have to go meet, in the end zone, or.
Well, even when I coached years ago at Troy, before they moved the old high school, and we had to drive a bus to our home field, which was up the hill from Troy High School, and so we'd do halftime in the bus. So.
So, we can, if you want to, Brian, we can give some of the updated scores here on the.
Definitely, yes. The biggest one, that I like to hear. What I like to hear there, Mr. Brandon, the Hanson Huskies, my alma mater, with the big W tonight.
Yeah, if we take a look at the Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com, I'll give specifically the 1A scores from around the state since this is a 1A game. Games that have gone final already today. Chalice defeats North Gem 36-20. Water Springs over Showban 66-20. We had Hanson defeat Shoshone. That's the one you're looking for. 32-14. Salmon River, a barn burner over Garden Valley, 52-50.
Ooh, track meet.
And Valley defeated Castleford 58-6. Valley's a 2A school. Game still in progress. Carey on top of Dietrich in the third, 52-0. Rockland leads Mackey 42-14 in the fourth. Council a 22-7 lead over Notice in the third. Tri-Valley on top of Cascade as well, 54-0 in the third. And just to wrap up the 8-man schedule of games here, 2A games tonight. Idaho City defeats Centennial Baptist 56-26. Hagerman defeats Glens Ferry 52-6. Kendrick on top of Kamei 48-6 in the second quarter. Troy and Lapway, good duel, 30-20. Troy in the second.
Troy, the Trojans.
Oakley over Murtaugh in a tight one in the fourth, 28-20. Raft River defeats Butte County 36-12, and Prairie on top of Potlatch 32-20.
Oh, that's kind of a surprise there. Yes. Potlatch was doing pretty well this year too.
Yep.
Just looking at the Max Preps rankings right now, Brandon, you said this a little bit earlier. Coeur Christ comes in as the Max Preps number 8 seed in the state, and Deary at number 9. And so right now, the Saints looking to propel themselves up that ladder as they lead 42-0 here starting the second half.
And this is a lot, Deary, if they take it on the chin here tonight, they may fall out of the playoff picture entirely, depending on what happens here.
And with the kickoff return, that's Meckling, and Meckling will get up to the 40-yard line before he's brought down.
Oh, Kendrick has scored again. 56-6, Kendrick.
The Tigers are rolling. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. I remember the White Pine League used to be one, all of them used to be together. It was to be a 8-man program with Troy and Deary and Kendrick. And Kendrick always seemed to dominate that one too. Here we are starting second half. Deary first play from offense. Hand off to Dammerman. Dammerman up the middle. He'll get 4 before he's taken down. Leading the charge, the senior, Greg Hayes. And we'll call it a 2nd and 6 for the Mustangs. (42-0) your score. Saints rolling tonight. Dammerman in motion. Inside handoff to Dammerman. Looking for some blockers on the outside. Got the outside edge. Got one to beat. Good coverage by the defense, but not out until after about a 15-yard. He's still on his feet. Trugging along. Gets down to the other 40. Big gain of 15 yards for the Mustangs. Oh, just watching the different running, as you said before, Brandon, with the running, just running hard. It's kind of trying to dance too much. And that's what's hurting Deary right now. If they just run north and south instead of trying to dance around, they'd probably get a lot better yardage.
Yeah, they just got to start getting north and south and maybe on the edges a little bit too. They've just been going up the middle.
Keen in the pistol. Looking to pass. And he had Hubbard wide open, and Hubbard decided not to put a hand up, I guess. So incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. Hubbard had a defender beat. Pass was just a little bit too in front. 2nd and 10, 9:45 left to go in the third quarter. Now once Keene gets his timing down, his arm, I think he's got the arm strength to do it. He's just got to get the timing, throw a little sooner. Keene with Funk in the backfield. Hand off to Funk. Funk off tackle. Breaks the tackle up to the 20, down to the 15 before he's taken out of bounds around the 15-yard line. Big gain for the Mustangs. Call it 25. To be 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line for the Mustangs.
Okay, this is their opportunity. Wipe the slate
Red
clean
zone.
here. New half.
In that red zone, once again, this is where the Saints have been strengthening all night long. Keene decides to keep it. He's got lots of room to run and cuts it back inside. If he stays outside on that, he goes right into the end zone. He still picks up enough for the first down. But Keene, if he stays on that track, you got to add no one to the end zone, but cut back into the defender. It does bring up 1st and goal. Big gain for the Mustangs. As a 1st and goal on the 7-yard line. Keene under center. Funk and Dammerman in the backfield. The pitch to Dammerman. Cuts back inside. Keeps his feet going. He's in. Touchdown, Mustangs. Dammerman just kept his feet driving. Had about 2 of the Saints on him, 3 of the Saints on him. Kept driving forward, and that's all they need to do is just drive forward, and they score. The Mustangs are on the board.
From how many yards out there, Brian?
That was 7-yard touchdown.
And Deary off the schneid. Great to see.
Deary on the board. Trying to tack 2 more on. Funk in the backfield with Keene. And just, again, Hubbard wide open. Little inside screen route there and just overthrew the intended receiver, Hubbard. So 2-point conversion, no good. But the Mustangs are on the board. They trail 42-6 with 7:46 left to go in the third quarter. To the Coeur to Christ Saints.
Yeah, while we got a moment tonight, Brian, want to thank our power boosters for the Deary Mustangs. North Idaho Crushing, Shorts Funeral Chapel, Cutting Edge Timber Harvesting, Deary Auto Parts, Strom Electric, BS Dean Logging LLC, Pine Creek Logging, Deary Automotive and Truck Repair, Dean Logging LLC, and Gem Forestry.
Thank you to our power boosters. Are you interested in joining the team here at IdahoSports.com? We're always on the lookout for talented people that want to get involved in what we do. Salespeople, producers, camera operators, writers, photographers, even broadcasters. Email editor at IdahoSports.com to find out more. And we'll see Cohen Griffin to kick off for the Mustangs. And watch out, because I do believe Denke's back there. They don't want to kick to him. And Deary will take the ball. Little sidewinder on the ground. Sam Stevenson covers up the ball. Excuse me, that was Beckett Byer. Get the right page, Brian. Get on the right team, we'll be all right. Beckett Byer with the recovery. And the Saints, favorable field position here on the 43-yard line. With 7:15 left to go in the ball game, the Saints lead 42-6.
7:15 in the third.
Third, sorry. What did I say?
Ball game.
Oh, sorry. Third.
No, you're good.
Little shuffle pass inside. And a big hit, but a gain, not till a gain after of 11 yards. And that was Genet on the run for 11 yards.
And that's the nice thing about Coeur Christ now is they can start to incorporate, different guys in at different positions, can kind of throttle back a little bit.
Genet in the backfield with Hayes. Ball with the snap. Ball's on the ground still. Clemens recovers. A little extracurricular after the whistle blew, but it's a loss of 7 for the Saints. We're bringing up second and long. I do believe it's the first time the Saints have gone backwards all night.
Yeah, that's been few and far between. And so, again, this is a chance for Deary to just kind of rack up those small wins here.
Genet in motion. Little flip screen to him. Genet with a catch. And he makes it back up to the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 3rd and 10.
This is a calm, cool, composed Coeur Christ unit. Very impressed.
And Denke not involved over on the sideline over here as he can take a rest while Genet does all the work at running back.
I don't know if he's taking a rest, but...
Oh, he's over here drinking some water and taking a rest.
The ultimate take a rest was when Mark Sanchez had a hot dog from the concession stand.
3rd and 10 for the Saints. Quick handoff, Genet. He's got running room up the middle. He could score. He's going to go all the way. It's Genet. Touchdown. 46-yard touchdown for Charles Genet. And the Saints score with yet another person on their roster. They have many weapons on this team. He's the backup.
Genet says, make my day.
Hooray. Don't you say? Oh, we better stop that. Okay, here we go.
It just reminds me of the movie Happy Gilmore.
Hand off to Genet. Gets around the corner and he'll score.
Do what I say or you'll pay. Could do this all
Only
day.
in May. Okay.
Here's some clay.
So Shanae scores and gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that takes a score to 50-6 with 4:50 left to go in the third quarter. Here on IdahoSports.com, North Idaho game night with Brandon and Brian. We'll be right back.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Back here at Spirit Lake, the neutral site for tonight's North Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com. Brandon Baney and Brian Hall. And special guest Dwayne Baney on the camera tonight. Coeur Christ, the home team, senior night. And they lead 50-6 over the Deary Mustangs with 4:50 left to go in the third quarter. Junkin with the kick. Hubbard with the return. Does a little dance step left, dance step right. He likes to do a little high stepping out there. Likes to dance a lot. We do have a flag down, about a 5-yard return. We'll see what the flag brings. I think it's going to be an illegal block on the Mustangs. We'll see here. Or maybe a hold. Wait for the official. Holding on the return team. So they'll take it back a little farther for Deary to start. And Deary will get the start at their own 23 yard line. 50-6, 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And the clock is running.
Yeah, we'll have that running clock here unless Deary can find another way to score. Once you get up 40 in the second half, the clock runs.
Keene with a low snap. Hand off to Dammerman. Dammerman slices his way for a gain of 5, or it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Mustangs. So, folks, wish you could see us up in the booth tonight. Brandon just feverishly working on the Friday Night Flash tonight. He's getting all the scores updated for all of you around the state. They just announced that you can watch IdahoSports.com around the world, even in the Vatican. And the dish is to Meckling. Meckling gets some running room. He's still on his feet. He's got a good an open field. He's open field. He's got one man to beat. Got a blocker in front, and it is taken down. A touchdown-saving play at the 15-yard line. A huge gain for the Mustangs. And that was Junkin that ran him down. Matthew Junkin, the freshman, didn't give up on the play, or he would have scored. Huge play for the Mustangs, and they will have 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. .210 left to go in the third quarter. Keene under center. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Dammerman. And Dammerman is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And the bottom of the pile for the Saints, Zimber. Eli Zimber. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. 1:35 left to go in the game in the third quarter. And the Saints lead 50-6. Keene and Damerman in the backfield. Looking for the option. Pitch to Damerman. Damerman, if he keeps running hard outside, he could make it. And he's taken down hard, but not till he crosses the end zone. Damerman in for the touchdown. Mustangs score.
That's Damerman's second touchdown tonight.
And Damerman comes up a little gimpy after the play. He was hit hard in the end zone. The defender actually tackled him into the end zone. But the Mustangs score once again. They're not done yet. An 82-yard drive by the Mustangs.
I thought you were going to say an 82-yard touchdown run. I was going to say, no.
82-yard drive.
I know you're bad at math,
together.
But you're not that bad.
The Mustangs attempting the 2-point try. Keene takes a low snap. And the ball is tipped by the defender. Byer tipped it right into the hands of the receiver. And that was Hubbard, and he said something to him. And there is a flag on the grass. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So Byer tipped the ball up in the air, and it went right into Hubbard's hands. So a 2-point conversion is good. And Hubbard got a little excited. Got the thrown. So the Saints still lead 50-14 with 1:06 left to go in the third quarter. IdahoSports.com does a lot more than just broadcasting. Continue checking back to the website for updated scores, schedules, standings, polls, action photo galleries, and written content from every corner of the state. Join Idaho Sports Nation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Watch prepcasts and get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more.
And we do want to thank our power boosters again tonight for the Deary Mustangs, Gem Forestry, Shorts Funeral Chapel, Deary Auto Parts, Cutting Edge Timber Harvesting, BS Dean Lodging LLC, Pine Creek Logging, Dean Logging LLC, Deary Automotive and Truck Repair, North Idaho Crushing, and Strom Electric.
Strom Electric.
A lot of logging up there in Deary, that's for sure.
Deary to kick to the Saints, and Deary's come out and scored twice really quick. A little blooper, and it's to Byer, and Byer will just take a knee, and the Saints will have great field position on the Mustang 45. So Deary has a little talk at halftime. They come right out and score 14 on the Saints, but they still lead to Saint. They still trail 50-14 with 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. So, Brandon, it's only 36 is the lead. And a new running back for the Saints, and that is Zane Balsiger. Wrong. It's Camden Manuel.
I knew you would get the right.
Camden Manuel for the Saints, a freshman. It's interesting how I missed up all the freshman names for some reason. And that'll end the third quarter as the clock ran. And after 3, the Coeur de Christ Saints 50, the Deary Mustangs 14. This IdahoSports.com game stream production of North Idaho Game Night with Brandon and Brian.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Spirit Lake, Idaho, we're into the fourth quarter. Coeur Christ Saints lead 50-14 over the Deary Mustangs. And they have a 2nd and 10 on the Mustang 45-yard line. The handoff goes to Manuel. Manuel has some running room, and the freshman gets a nice run and a gain of about 5 before he's brought down. And Beckett Byer in at quarterback now. Starting to see some subs in from the Saints.
Yeah, and they have the depth to do that, which is kind of a nice luxury. In fact, just looking at the players on each sideline, Coeur Christ has more players than Deary does.
Byer and Manuel in the backfield. Handoffs to Manuel. Has some running room. Gets close to the first down. They're going to call him short. It'll be 4th and inches. And here comes the big man for Deary, Dakota Cochran, to plug up the middle on that 4th and short. Byer and Manuel in the backfield for the Saints. Handoff to Manuel. Manuel's got an edge. He's got room to run, and he'll be dropped at the 10-yard line. Big gain. 25-yard gain for the freshman for the Saints. I tell you what, these guys need to get a track team. Manuel's fast.
Yes.
They're just inside the 10, so it'll be 1st and goal for the Saints with just a little bit over 10 minutes to go in the ball game. So Byer and the snap is way over his head. And the ball's on the ground, and Deary recovers. And you get some new guys in there, and some things happen like that.
That was Blake Clark on the fumble recovery there for Deary. He's a guy that, again, all league as a sophomore last year in the White Pine League, and a guy that I really expect to maybe get some interest for the All-State team this year.
So the snap goes over the head of Byer. And right now, a host of subs in for the Saints. And the handoff to Funk, where he'll gain 2 before he's brought down. Brought down by Anders Sundholm, the freshman. Keenan Funk in the backfield. It'll be 2nd and about 9. And Demerman with the inside handoff. He's got the edge, and he cut back inside. If he stays on that outside, gets that edge, he is probably a home run ball. Cuts back into the defender who was waiting for him was Noah Fisher, sophomore for the Saints. Brings up a 3rd and 8. Deary's running backs look like they run a little tentative instead of running hard. Tells me that the Saints defense probably hits them pretty hard.
Yes. And again, it's just that north-south that we've been talking about, right? You got to hit the hole and hit it hard.
3rd and 7 for the Mustangs. Back to pass to Keene. Keene throws the ball up to Meckling. Meckling has a grab of the 50. He's taken down at the 41-yard line, but not before the pickup of 35 yards. So great connection there. Keene to Meckling. Bring up the first down at the Saints 41. They trail 50-14 with 7:15 left to go in the ball game. The Saints with a number of substitutes in at the backfield. See if Keene picks it up. And a bad snap. Keene was looking at his man coming in motion, and the snap came back, and he didn't see it, and it's going to be a loss of about 10 for the Mustangs. Bring up second and about 20. So Dameron was coming in motion, and the snap, Keene was looking at the motion man, and the ball went right by him. Brings up a big, long second down.
And this is where Coach Clemens wants the Saints to finish strong with the big game with Wallace coming up next week. You know, defense set the tone. Let's finish this thing.
Hubbard in motion. He'll get the handoff from Keene. Hubbard's got the edge. Cuts back in the defense, and he'll pick up the first down of gain of 20. You know, 8-man football, getting that edge on the outside edge, if you can get that outside edge and keep running hard there, you've got a touchdown. But these Deary's running backs keep cutting back into the defenders. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs on the 30-yard line. Funk in motion. Keene gets a snap, decides to keep it himself. Runs up the middle. He's got 5. He's up to 10. 15 yards before he's taken down. First down for the Mustangs. These Mustangs still running hard on the Saints.
And that's the thing with Deary. They have 2 very important conference games coming up still in the White Pine League, right? They're going to finish with Lewis County and then Genesee in the regular season finale on IdahoSports.com. They're still 1-0 in the White Pine League, and that's really what's important for them moving forward. This is a non-conference game. They want to finish strong, too, and establish some momentum going into the final 2 weeks of the season.
All comes down to the Max Preps rankings at the end of the year.
That's right. The only guarantee is if you win your league,
conference,
you're in. That's right.
4:40 left to go in the ball game. Deary trying to put another 6 up on the board here. And a lot of motion going on. Two people move at the same time. Can't happen. You can't do that. It'll remain first down, 1st and 15 for the Mustangs. And the clock is a-running. Nearing 4 minutes left to go. Into the ball game for the Saints, Knox Fortin.
Now, I've heard of Fort Knox. I've never heard of Knox
Fortin. They go backwards. Keene fakes a pass, looks up to pass the ball. He's got Hubbard. Hubbard with the reception down to the 8-yard line, where it'll be second and call it 4. Second and 4. 3:30 left to go. Deary trying to save some grace here, save some face here, and punch it in right at the end of the ball game.
Just trying to finish strong.
Finish strong. Finish was a big word for Deary, and they came out and scored twice so far in the second half. Finished it. Hand off to Funk. Funk's got open room to the end zone, and he'll score. 10-yard touchdown by Hunter Funk. And Deary scores another 6. That's their 3rd score of the second half. If you're looking at quarters and halves, Deary's actually winning the second half.
That's right.
They've scored 3 times to the Saints 1. So your score 50-20, 3 minutes left to go. Deary trying for the 2-point conversion. Hand off to Damerman. Damerman looking for some room, looking to get in, and he is. Damerman will pick up Cooper Damerman with the 2-point conversion. So with 3:03 left to go in this ball game, the North Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com. It's the Coeur Christ Saints 50, the Deary Mustangs 22. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, talk about something.
Talk about something. Well, we're looking at the Mariners are playing the Tigers tonight, and
that game might be still going when we get in the car and drive home.
The top of the 12th, and it's tied 2-2, and so
that's awesome, man.
But so nobody wants to go home in baseball, but we're here on the gridiron tonight. IdahoSports.com, North Idaho game night. I just like saying North Idaho game night because I messed it up so many times this year already. You just get it right tonight.
I know you were in front of the mirror rehearsing that tonight, Brian. I appreciate it.
And I even printed out my pregame stuff. I mean,
you're really picking up this broadcast.
Brandon is like impressed with me tonight, folks. This is they might hire me for next year. I don't know. I might, maybe basketball season. That's fun too. But.
We've got a mutual option in your contract here. You can move on if you want. We can move on.
Free agency. Terry, a great kickoff, but I think it's going to go out of bounds. Yeah, it goes out of bounds at 21. Got a little foot into that time. Been squibs most of the night. Yeah, I don't think they really want to kick to John Denke. Denke has been fast and furious tonight.
Yeah, he's been the big play guy, and he, like I said, he's taken several kickoffs back for touchdowns last year. He would be, continuing on the baseball theme. He's kind of the home run hitter for this Coeur Christ outfit.
Slugger. So Beyer comes back in. Coach Clemens wants his son to be healthy for next week. Has some room to breathe a little bit here. 2:42 left to go in the ball game. Manuel with the ball, nowhere to run. He's still going to pick up one, I do believe. And that wasn't Manuel. They switched on me again. That's Genet with the carry. Be 2nd and 9. He's got so many running backs on this team, it's hard to keep track of them.
It's an embarrassment of riches, right? Yeah, for sure.
And you have that many great athletes to be able to choose from. So Beyer, the quarterback, Genet, the running back. 2 minutes left to go in this ball game, and they let the clock run. Very sportsmanlike of Coeur Christ to not run up the score. Trying to run the clock. The clock is running. Get a couple more plays, and this game will be in the books. Genet with the carry. Got a blocker out in front, and he's taken down with a short gain of 1, and on the tackle there was Nolan Hubbard. So 3rd and 7 for the Saints. 1:30 left to go. They lead 50-22. Ball game in hand. As next week, big games for both teams. Beyer gets the call from Coach Clemens. We're down to 1 minute left to go in the ball game. Just a reminder, folks, not to leave us after the ball game. We'll come back with our player of the game.
I did want to tell you, Brian, you're doing a fantastic job tonight. You have done a lot of the legwork here. You didn't skip leg day.
I did skip leg day. I got North Idaho game night. I got to be on top of things here.
That's right.
So Genet with a carry brings it up to 4th and about 1. And 39 seconds left to go in this ball game. And you know what? I haven't seen a lot of victory formations in 8-man football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
20 seconds left to go. You always have this track meet, where 72 points scored in the ball game, and and everyone just wants to just take a knee and say, hey, let's call it a ball game.
You want those young bucks to get another play.
Byer takes a snap, takes it himself, gets the first down, and that's going to be the last play of the game. And your final, folks, here tonight, the Coeur Christ Saints on senior night defeat the Deary Mustangs 50-22. It's IdahoSports.com North Idaho game night. We'll be right back with the player of the game.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Well, welcome back here to Spirit Lake as the Coeur Christ Saints defeated the Deary Mustangs by the score of 50-22. Today's player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment and free from distractions. Our player of the game this evening, senior night, Coeur Christ, is going to go to Greg Hayes. Had a great night this evening. First half was involved in 22 of the first 50 points for the Saints this evening. So our player of the game is Greg Hayes.
Yeah, Greg Hayes, 6-yard touchdown run, 62-yard touchdown reception, and then 77-yard touchdown reception. Also caught a 2-point conversion and ran in a 2-point conversion. So pretty good effort.
And a few tackles on defense as well. A great player. And Coeur Christ Saints have a great ball club. Moving on, they move on to 5-1. On the season, the Mustangs moved to 3-4. This has been an IdahoSports.com's game stream production of North Idaho Game Night. Coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Saving Program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Special thanks to our athletic director here at Timberlake High School, Katie Walton, and also Coach Kellen Clemens, the AD, head coach, and a lot of other hats at Coeur Christ High School. And everyone here at Spirit Lake for their hospitality and helping getting this game broadcast to you. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Thanks again for joining us as the Coeur Christ Saints defeat the Deary Mustangs by the score of 50-22. For my broadcast partners tonight, Brandon Bainey and Mr. Dwayne Bainey, and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Brian Hall saying so long until next time, or something of that nature is what it says in the parentheses. So have a good night, drive safe, and be great out there, folks.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com.